Good morning, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Now, a couple of weeks ago I mentioned that I wanted to try and find a bit more structure and potentially a bit more routine in what I upload here to YouTube. And one of the things I've decided to do as a result of that is on the last Friday of every month, I'm going to upload a video where I talk about 5 songs and 1 album that I really feel capture the mood of the month based on whatever the theme is. And it being January, I thought that the perfect theme for this video would be January blues. The excitement that saw in the new year has faded, you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, and you realise that you're just as much of a failure as you were last year. So if you're interested in hearing any of the music that I feel represents that mood, then check all of these out. Also, I'd love to hear what your recommendations are, or if you have any particular songs or albums that you feel like reflect this mood, so just let me know down in the comments, and they may well feature in next month's video about this topic. The first song on this list is called Ghost, and it's by the folk singer from the north of England called Kate Rusby. I've been a fan of Kate Rusby since I was in school. Her music is so nice, it's kind of acoustic-y folk music, and she has this amazing calm and almost fragile quality to her vocals. Ghost is one of her more recent singles. It's kind of unusual for her because it's entirely piano-based with just her vocals over the top, and it's really, really sad. I think it's about someone whose lover or partner has died, and about how at night it's like they're still together, but in the morning there's a kind of realization that they are actually just not there. One of the lines in the chorus is, "Here in the dark my love wanders on, when the cruel morning comes, once again he's gone." I listened to the song loads, especially last year. It's absolutely beautiful and heartbreaking, so that's song number 1. Track number 2 is called Loopt, and it's by Kiasmos. I've spoken about Kiasmos before. I've got both of their records. I absolutely love them. They're a sort of ambient techno duo from Iceland, formed of Olafur Arnalds and Janus Rasmussen, both fantastic artists in their own right. I'm a huge fan of Olafur Arnalds especially. Unlike the previous track, which is a bit more thematic, this is obviously an entirely instrumental piece, but the repeated chord progression and gradual build creates a very, very good atmosphere, but it feels really dark when you're listening to it. One of those things that you can't quite explain properly, partly because it's instrumental music, and that's what I love about instrumental music so much. It doesn't literally spell out what it is that it's talking about or what you should be sort of feeling as a reaction to it. It allows you to add your own context to the music. But yeah, it's one of my favourite Kiasmos tracks and definitely a pick for January blues. Track number 3 is by Chet Baker, and it's called Alone Together. Now, if you don't know who Chet Baker is, then you've made some quite seriously negative life choices. He's an absolutely iconic and legendary jazz singer and trumpeter. He's got one of the most recognizable voices, I think, in the world when you hear it on his records. And an amazing story to the man as well. He led a very troubled life, as so many of the jazz musicians of that era did, but this comes across in his music so well. There's not a huge amount that I need to say about this. It's just something you need to put on, have a listen to, and just sort of feel melancholy for a while. The sound of his trumpet coming through in these soft jazz arrangements, they're just amazing. Track number 4 is by the American dream pop duo Azure Ray, and it's called Sleep. This is another one of those tracks that I've been listening to for years and years and years, but I always come back to it when I want to capture a certain mood. It's kind of sad, hopeful, longing, and relatable all at the same time. The opening line is, "Fill these spaces up with days," and I absolutely love it. What I also like about that track is the simplicity of it. It's effectively the same chord progression all the way through. It does vary occasionally, but I love when a musical idea has been used many, many times in the past, and yet an artist can still come up with a way to make it sound fresh and engaging and original. So yeah, I love that song. The final song, track number 5, is called Things Fall Apart by the indie band Built to Spill. I don't really listen to any other of their stuff. I never got into it all that much, if I'm honest. Even the album that track is taken from, I very, very rarely listen to, but that one song I listen to all the time. It's about 7 or 8 minutes long. It's the closer, and it's just so melancholy. There's a really nice sounding and like very well produced guitar riff that the track starts off with that kind of repeats throughout the majority of the song. The lyrics and the vocal delivery sort of capture this apathetic atmosphere so well, because it kind of sounds like he's almost singing it half-heartedly, and what he's singing about reflects that, and it's an amazing piece of music. And there's this trumpet solo that comes in towards the end, which almost seems like it came out of nowhere but was also totally expected at the same time. It's fantastic. So those are the 5 January blues songs: Ghost by Kate Rusby, Looped by Kiasmos, Alone Together by Chet Baker, Sleep by Azure Ray, and Things Fall Apart by Built to Spill. Now, the album of the month is something I've mentioned before in videos, but I really feel like it captures that disappointing, apathetic, melancholy, cold atmosphere that you get when it's January. And that is Not to Disappear by Daughter. Daughter have always been very good at creating sad music in both their lyrical content and the instrumentation. All of that sort of glued together with the intimate, dulcet, and fragile at times tones of their lead singer just makes for the perfect sad winter album. Regardless of what it is that you're sad about, this album touches on various different topics. So that is my January blues album of the month, Not to Disappear by Daughter. Just to clarify, when I'm talking about feeling sad and melancholy, I'm not trying to make people who are feeling bad feel worse. I just find personally that when I'm in a certain mood, I want to listen to music that can reflect that. Listening to music is such a cathartic thing to do, and I often find that it makes me feel better to listen to music that actually reflects what I'm feeling, instead of happy or upbeat music that'll probably just end up making me feel worse. And also, it's important to feel sad and feel lonely at times. As people, we have this amazing ability to feel this huge spectrum of different emotions, and having the right soundtracks for those moments is, in my opinion, very important. So there we go. Those are my top picks for January January blues. Next month's theme is going to be Heartbreak February because Valentine's Day, right? More depressing music. Can't wait. Let me know if you have any suggestions for that theme or if you have any thoughts on the ones I've talked about today. Do you have any favorite January blues music? If so, let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really hope you've enjoyed this. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you all very soon.